right, good morning out there. Today is Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. I'm Anthony, and this is Drive Dive. And the thought on my mind this morning is more of a question. How many times have you changed employers? If not employers, maybe bigger than that. How many times have you changed careers in your lifetime? The reason I ask that question is I've been in education for nearly 20 years. I want to say this is my 19th year. And I've worked for, 6 different school districts in that time. So yes, an average of a little over 3 years, right? Is that a good thing, bad thing? I don't know. But it's within the same field, right? Largely the same career, if you consider that all just education, as one. But I was also approached recently by someone on LinkedIn about potentially changing, potential opportunity within the insurance field, right? Would it be a sales job, or would it be more financial planning and things of that nature? Maybe, who knows? But I was approached, given my background in education and specifically mathematics education, right? They're obviously doing a very good job of selling me on this career field, my ability to build relationships with people, my ability to break down concepts to people, and I guess, right, my mathematical ability to understand all of the percentages and financials and investment strategies and savings to be able to really help clients prepare for their future, right? Set themselves up for success, or to be able to survive financial hardships, etc. So just putting that out there to folks, how many times you've made such changes within your lifetime, and perhaps why. I mean, I keep thinking about some of the things that I would like within my life, right? And supporting my home, my family, creating those opportunities, having perhaps, I guess, some free time, to still be there for the kids and not have this hour-long commute. Not that would necessarily go away by switching fields, but I don't know, are there other opportunities out there? Would I be able to make, they asked me in this initial conversation, my dream salary within the next 3 years, and would I be able to hit that number, and what would I do with that extra cash, and some of the things that my wife and I have spoken about, like a home edition and whatnot. I've had to put those things off for a little while because in all of my changes, some willing, right, by choice, others not so much, where recently I did have to take basically like a $30,000 pay cut, and for that reason, we had to put off that addition, and make some other adjustments, right? I think not that we've had to say no to anything, whether it's anything within reason that we've wanted or the kids have wanted. It certainly hasn't taken any food off the table, thankfully. Even though $30,000 is nothing to sneeze at, or right, scoff at annually here, right? So over the course of the past 2 years now, haven't had that additional income, and 6 months of the past 24, I guess really 18, but I was unemployed, collecting unemployment, so severely reduced, I would say, income over the past 2 years, and so 18 to 24 months. And, I would love to try to stay within education and get back into an admin role and have that increased salary once again, be made whole in a sense. But, if one pans out before the other, it could be a nice opportunity. And the thing within education, at least in New Jersey, with all of our, tier systems, with retirement, the pension, and all of that, I could step away from education for 2 years before essentially giving up my tier within the pension system. If I return to education, to a role within education within, that 2-year time frame, I would retain my tier 1 status, which is a whole other ball of wax, right? A whole other topic of conversation to get into, and how tier 1 versus tier 2, and how they change the retirement age at which you can collect, and the calculations for your pension payout when you are old enough to collect, and various penalties and things like that if you file for like an early retirement or a deferred retirement. I don't even know all the ins and outs of it myself. I just know that I'm tier 1, and you don't want to give that up, right? So changing fields now before I have 25 years under my belt, could have some implications, down the road in retirement, when it comes to those pension calculations and whatnot. But who knows what happens in the short term, or what the benefits of another field would present, and if it would in the end be even better, right? I mean, because at times, education is challenging, and am I going to enjoy the next, let's just say 20 years working, right? Am I going to enjoy the next 20 years within education, or might I have more joy and fulfillment in another field where I'm still applying my relationship skills, my mathematical knowledge and abilities to help people, just in different ways. So I don't know, who knows? But anyway, that's what's on my mind. How to make some of these decisions. Not that I necessarily have these options available to me at the present moment, just initial conversations, right? Doesn't hurt to take the call, figure out what this person or company has to offer me, and see, right, at some point making a decision. Hopefully, I guess, right? I mean, I only say that because I would like to think that, if they're reaching out to me, and I do think I'm personable, talented, strong work ethic, etc., that I should be offered something, right? I believe that anything I interview for, apply for, am contacted for, that it should ultimately result in an offer of some kind. So I would hope to be at a point in the near future where I get to make this decision, to stay within education, for the next couple of years, or get out for at least a couple, try something else, and then make a decision whether to return to education and my tier 1 status, or continue on this, alternate path. But anyway, it's all hypothetical. It's getting a little ahead of myself, but ultimately just putting that out there. How many times have you changed employers, changed fields, careers, etc.? And what's your decision-making process when you do? That's it. Comment down below. Appreciate the exchange. Otherwise, happy Wednesday. Make it a great one. Like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. Hit the notification bell so you catch me on the next one, which may or may not be tomorrow. See what comes to mind, and if I feel like it's worth your time. All right. Have a great day. See ya.